Welcome to the bold analysis. The Jubilee Party coup plotters and beneficiaries are becoming shaken by the latest move by members of Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet, Peter Munya, to take over the leadership of the Party of National Unity, which is the PNU that was associated with former President Mwai Kibaki. And that move has left political analysts opening the lid on what exactly is the game plan. Welcome to the bold analysis. That is what we are going to look at. That is what we're going to look into in this podcast. So kindly, I want to say thank you for those who are supporting us from different parts of the globe. Let me also state early that if you're moving from one place to the other, from one town to the other, you are relocating your office or even relocating your household goods so that you move somewhere else, then one of the most important things you need is safety of your treasures. That is why I want to introduce to you Top-Mark Movers. They are professional, reliable, affordable company that will help you facilitate the movement of your items safely, well packed. Contact Top-Mark Movers here 07 19 17 43 93 07 19 17 43 93. Top-Mark Movers, their quality is everything. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get deep to the politics of the day. Peter Munya, who until the last day of Uhuru Kenyatta's tenure was serving as the agriculture CS, Peter Munya was a former governor of Meru, has come out clearly and has been endorsed as the party leader of the Party of National Unity. Before his endorsement, Peter Munya actively participated in the second phase of mass action and was seen leading a group of youths in the protest in Meru, accompanied by Martha Karua and a host of other leaders from Mount Kenya. He's also a very prominent leader on matters Mount Kenya East politics, especially the areas of Meru. He was picked as the party leader of the PNU. Then former Education Cabinet Administrative Secretary Kinuthia, Zach Kinuthia, was picked as the organizing secretary. The two worked closely with Uhuru Kenyatta, and former Machakos Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi is told, is a member of the PNU, is saying that it is just a matter of time before Uhuru moves to PNU should the courts validate the rival camp as Jubilee bona fide officials. Now you will realize that since the courts are a bit aligned and the stars are aligned on the side of the coup plotters, because the Jubilee coup was clearly clearly orchestrated by the deep state powers. And Uhuru Kenyatta, after putting a very spirited fight to defend the party from the termites that came out of the woodwork to feed on the party, he has kept low profile in terms of commenting about the party and has simply taken a position of keeping quiet about it. Political analysts have actually been saying that Uhuru Kenyatta seems to be putting a plan B. Should the courts and should William Ruto snatch Jubilee Party from him? And this takes me to something he once said, that he had planned to exit active politics and even relinquish the party position as the party leader, so that he gives the party to the Jubilee Party, to the other leaders to spearhead the party. But he was only there to defend democracy, to defend what was actually seen as a forceful eviction from his own party. And after saying that, he said he was willing to exit. In fact, he was willing to leave active politics. But yesterday, the appearance of Uhuru Kenyatta in an event that was organized by the Azimio Umoja on the Requiem Mass for those affected by the mass action, by the protest previous week, has actually created another discussion that Uhuru is not going anywhere. And sometimes I said back in this podcast that however much Uhuru Kenyatta might want to leave the political scene, but his hands are tied because there are a lot of commercial interests, financial interest, and his investment that stand in a very precarious situation, and even his family, that stand in a very precarious situation if he is not there, if he is not inactive. So the quest for political power is not that he's going to vie anywhere. I don't even think his family members might come to vie. But the quest to be around political power is just for stability of his own investments and to protect his interest as a former president. I saw in the US, Barack Obama was back campaigning. I'll not be shocked to see Uhuru Kenyatta back in the campaign trail, even though our political terrain is a bit different. Other leaders are Nelson Omondi, the new PNU executive director, taking over from Noel Kinyua Imitila, and then the Secretary General is Samuel Okemwa. Most of them look at it that way, but I want to just go straight and explain. Why would you want a former president? Why would you think Uhuru Kenyatta, even after losing, if he successfully loses Jubilee, will still want to have grip of a party? You know, where will he still have a grip of the party? Putting in mind that even the PNU that they're talking about, number one, let's try to profile that party. That PNU party also has a working relationship with the Azimio Umoja. Is also within Azimio Umoja. The PNU party was predominantly a Mount Kenya party, and it was associated with Mwai Kibaki. Mwai Kibaki family members are actually, those ones that are active in politics, including Derito Muredi, are actually bona fide members of the PNU. So there will be a lot of conflict. And then Mwai Kibaki came from Nyeri. So another point you may need to note here is the UDA wing has been touted, have been trying to project themselves that they want to take Kenya where Kibaki left it. Now Ruto has, if that is Uhuru's plan B, then Uhuru has gone to pick Mwai Kibaki's party. What exactly will this look like, and what will be its next phase of action? Remember, this is not something new. Even this UDA was some other small party, and it was rebranded, and it was covered by a political euphoria known as Hustler Thing and the wheelbarrow and the yellow colors, and no one thinks about the other small party. But UDA, it was never UDA. It was changed after Ruto bought a very small party. So it's just, I think, it's a strategy that has always been used. But I want to explain why Uhuru would actively be fishing for a party. The reason why Uhuru would want to play a secret trump card on Mount Kenya supremacy. You know, as a spec, the default Mudhamaki for Mount Kenya is Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, regarding Gachagua being is that the second most senior member of the society, of the region, the community, in government, by the virtue of being a deputy president, I still believe he has not matched Uhuru Kenyatta. And is not even close to matching Uhuru Kenyatta. And if you want to believe that Uhuru Kenyatta is the market, let's try to imagine today that in the next election, Rigathi Gachagua is not William Ruto's running mate. What happens? His political career is dwindled there and then. It's stagnated. Number two, try to imagine if he vies for presidency and fails to get it. You know, so that is why I'm saying that you cannot wish Uhuru away. Uhuru should not, it's not a must he comes and say it is Uhuru Kenyatta. I remember in 2012 when the John Michukis were supporting Uhuru Kenyatta. Yes, they supported Uhuru Kenyatta themselves. And clearly they were being pushed by Mwai Kibaki. There is no single rally in Mount Kenya that Mwai Kibaki called and supported Uhuru Kenyatta, telling the region that look here, it's Uhuru Kenyatta. But what can simply happen here is, you know, with the blessings of the Kenyatta family, it is very easy for you to get the resources, the network needed for you to get somewhere. If you look those around Raila Odinga from Mount Kenya, Martha Karua, Jeremiah Kioni, and Mwangi wa Iria, Karen Karugo. If you look at, in fact, let's just trickle down to the three. Jeremiah Kioni, four. Jeremiah Kioni, Mwangi wa Iria, Peter Munya, and Kioni, Peter Munya, Mwangi wa Iria, and Martha Karua. If you look at those fellows, they're all competent and their profile is also huge. They have a huge impact. And I will not be shocked to see Peter Munya staging a very serious campaign there. And that will start by probably Peter Munya going to vie for governor in Meru. I want to believe he may not go for presidency, but he might go for governor. Kiretu Murungi, I think his age is, he might be getting to his heydays in politics, his last days in active politics because of the benefit of age. And in Meru, the governor is an independent candidate who does not have a party. UDA seems not to be holding any serious grip because they pushed Mutheka Linturi, and Mutheka Linturi did not make it. And so it's very clear that there is some leadership vacuum in Meru, and that is what Peter Munya will come to fill. There is also an inside plot to oil anti-Gachagua wave in Mount Kenya. You see, the Mainanjenga, I will not be shocked to see them trooping to a PNU party than sitting in the fence or just within the Azimio fold. Then Nderitu Muruede, and even the Jubilee orphans, those who still want to cling around Jubilee. And remember, the Jubilee party was, you know, it was dented. It was smeared with a lot of dirt on Uhuru Kenyatta's baggage. So Jubilee is Uhuru Kenyatta baggage. I want to believe that Uhuru might still leave Jubilee, and even if he supports PNU and doesn't become a party leader or not even a patron, but will become a financer for the PNU party, a key financer for PNU party, and leave not being in the fold, not even endorsing, but behind the scene, they know what's going on. In fact, that is why those UDA leaders are a bit shaken and already started running smear narrative on Uhuru Kenyatta. Anything or any alternative party that is in Mount Kenya is being associated with Uhuru Kenyatta as we speak. And I think Mount Kenyans should also be very sensitive. And that there is something I need to speak. I was speaking about in the run-up to last general election. It's called Mount Kenya consciousness. That Mount Kenya consciousness is needed so that you're not blindfolded into just thinking everything is anti-Uhuru. Everything is anti-Uhuru. You also need to have your own party, because when the rubber meets the road, sometimes that's what helps. Uhuru might fuel anti-Gachagua wave, and that could be within the PNU party. Lastly, I see a Mount Kenya East card on the table. Let me tell you, it is not very easy. If there is something that is coming, it is just a matter of time. It is just a storm that is delayed, but is Mount Kenya East and West discussion. Because in the East, Ndindi Nyoro seems to be trying to hold a grip of Murang'a. Rigathi Gachagua has been confined to Nyeri and all sorts of entitlement. And on the other side, Kindiki is trying to be the de facto of East through Tharaka Nithi. But remember, the larger Meru region doesn't have, larger in Mount Kenya East, Meru is the headquarter of Mount Kenya East, and they seem not to have a focal person there. As we speak, UDA do not have a focal person there. So this will also play a key role. That is why you've seen the party leader. It has been picked technically to be Peter Munya. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. But if you ask me, Peter Munya could also be branding himself and packaging to be the next Meru governor. Prepare for that. Peter Munya is coming, and the governor's seat could be waiting for him. Meru is one of the most funny counties. No governor served 2 terms. Peter Munya served first term, was defeated by Kiraitu Murungi. Kiraitu Murungi served his first term and was defeated by Kaira Mwangaza. I may not be shocked to see Peter Munya going back there. Meru will not hear anything. And because William Ruto's clout there, when it comes to governorship, I think that's a county that surprises many. Thank you.